I chose to do my first fact check video on the ideas of embodiment and gender, and I used the AI chat, Chat GPT, to formulate a response for me. I used the phrase, tell me a long paragraph about embodiment and gender. The language model gave me embodiment and gender are intricately intertwined aspects of human experience, encompassing the complex interplay between the physical body and socially constructed notions of masculinity and femininity. Embodiment refers to the lived experience of being in a body, encompassing not only the biological aspects but also the ways in which individuals perceive, experience, and navigate their bodies within a societal context. Gender, on the other hand, is a multifaceted construct shaped by cultural, historical, and social factors influencing expectations, roles, and behaviors associated with being male or female. The relationship between embodiment and gender is profound, as societal norms often prescribe specific roles and expectations based on one's perceived gender, influencing how individuals perceive and relate to their own bodies. This interaction can create a dynamic where individuals may experience a sense of enlightenment or disjunction between their physical bodies and the gendered expectations imposed upon them. The complex interplay has significant implications for issues such as body image, self-perception, and societal acceptance. Recognizing the diversity of gender identities and expressions is crucial in understanding and respecting the unique ways individuals embody their gender, transcending binary frameworks and embracing a spectrum identities that reflect the rich tapestry of human experiences. Moreover, discussions surrounding embodiment and gender underscore the need for inclusivity, empathy, and dismantling of rigid societal norms, fostering an environment where individuals can authentically and comfortably inhabit their bodies, regardless of conformity to traditional gender expectations. So, the way I chose to break this down is just kind of going sentence by sentence and fact checking, or kind of just adding commentary onto it, kind of encompassing the class, my own experiences, and just my own knowledge of the ideas of gender, embodiment, sexuality, things like that. So, the first sentence is basically stating that embodiment and gender are intertwined aspects of human experience, encompassing the complex interplay between the physical body and socially constructed notions of masculinity and femininity. I thought this was really interesting, and it seems correct to me in that in the society we are in today, the physical body is often a way that someone will look at someone and assume gender, which is the socially constructed ideas of gender in itself. So I think that is true. Next sentence says embodiment refers to the lived experience of being in a body, encompassing not only the biological aspects but also the ways in which individuals perceive, experience, and navigate their bodies within a societal context. Again, I do think this is very true, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying of in our current society, we base a lot of what we think of gender, and when we look at someone and assuming someone's gender, even though obviously we shouldn't be doing that anymore, that we do take a lot of this from looking at someone's body and not really getting to know them, and getting to know their gender in that way. And then it's interesting because everyone has to live in a body, everyone experiences embodiment, and then people are kind of forced to use their body to express their gender, even though that might not be their chosen way of gender expression. Gender, on the other hand, is a multifaceted construct shaped by cultural, historical, and social factors, influencing expectations, roles, and behaviors associated with being female or male. Again, this seems very true. This seems like something that if was written seemed very scholarly. Gender is very much a socially constructed idea, but that's not necessarily a negative thing. It just is what it is. Culturally, historically, gender can have a lot of meaning to different societies and different cultures, but it also creates a negative of expectations and roles, and when someone steps outside of that binary, it can kind of come with some negative feedback. The relationship between embodiment and Gender is profound, as societal norms often prescribe specific roles and expectations based on one's perceived gender, influencing how individuals perceive and relate to their bodies. A big part of this for me was the perceived gender, and that's kind of the basis of what I'm going off of here. So I like that this ChatGPT played off of that, because that's kind of when I think of this question. I think of perceived gender, I think of having to embody your gender and present a certain way for society to treat you as the gender that you are. The interaction can create a dynamic where individuals may experience a sense of enlightenment or disjunction between their physical bodies and their gendered expectations imposed upon them. Again, that feels very true. That feels very related to the perceived gender notion. This complex interplay has significant implications for issues. Yep, makes sense. It can create kind of negative reactions or things of that sort to someone that doesn't necessarily identify as the gender that they're presenting to the outside world. Recognizing the diversity of gender expressions and gender identities and expressions is crucial, and understanding transcending binary frameworks. Again, that will kind of solve that negative issue of perceived gender versus what someone identifies as, if people can understand that embodiment and a person's physical outside body does not necessarily reflect their gender. There will be a more inclusive and empathetic space that we all live in. So that's kind of my breakdown. I think that the ChatGPT did a pretty good job of relating embodiment and gender in the way that I would do.